Hello again. Joe Tringali coming to you from the Beacon for Club Success. Our program finally has a name. Why? Well, very simple. Obviously, we started out doing these programs for the Academy of Yachting, a little thing that I founded a few years ago as a way of bringing the word about the law and leadership and other principles to yacht clubs. Well, before very long on YouTube, I started getting contacted by members of other clubs, car clubs, gardening clubs, asking whether these same principles, particularly the legal ones, applied to them. The answer is yes. If you are a member of a club, any kind of club, what we are about to talk about applies to you. So listen carefully. Before we get into that, I'd like to thank my friend John Schneider for that great little introduction. John and his wife Alicia have been friends of my wife and I for a number of years. And in fact, we have even appeared in a couple of his movies. My wife, incidentally, had a speaking role. Might have been like 4 or 5 words. I was only a background actor, which used to be called an extra, but everything changes these days. In any event, I must tell you, and this is not just, you compliment me, I compliment you, but John Schneider is one of the most talented people I have ever met. He was in a hit TV series before he was 21. In fact, I think he might have been before he was 18. And that was the Dukes of Hazzard. He's had 4 #1 singles on country charts and 1 #1 album. He's starred in a number of other television programs, Haves and Have-Nots, Smallville, a few other things, and of course made a lot of movies. So, and we're in one. Did I mention that? Yeah, okay. Anyway, John, thank you very much, and we hope to see you and Alicia again on April 9th, 10th, and 11th. For those of you who are interested, John has something called the Bow Extravaganza at his place in Holden, Louisiana. You can find Holden on Google Maps. I guarantee you it's there. It's east of Baton Rouge. Yeah, look it up. You'll find it. It's there. We've been there, and it's a very good time, particularly if you're into country music. My wife is. I can kind of take it or leave it. The Cowboy Church, all kinds of people, all kinds of car shows, of course, Dukes of Hazzard type things going on. So if you're available, April 9th, 10th, and 11th, go on the internet, look up Bow's Extravaganza, B-O''S, Extravaganza, and you can find it. Now, I just realized that I forgot to turn on my handy dandy little timer, so I really don't know how much time I've used up. We're supposed to keep these things to 10 minutes. I think I've used up about 4. That's okay, because the subject we're about to cover is taxes, and there's no way we could finish it in one program. Before we get too much further, let me warn you, I am not a tax lawyer. I spent most of my career as a constitutional lawyer. I can read tax law just as well as anyone else can, but if you really have an IRS problem, you need to see a tax lawyer, an accountant, or probably best of all, a specialist called an enrolled agent. These are people who do nothing but taxes, okay? They don't do inventory control, they don't do payroll, they do taxes and nothing else. Look up enrolled agent And good luck. Okay. When the subject of taxes comes up, everybody asks about 501c3 because somebody's cousin's barber heard something great about that, and it means you can get all kinds of wonderful things. Nobody knows what it means for sure. We're not going to talk about it today. We will get into it. It's a very special area of the law. You probably do not qualify. In all probability, if you have a small to medium-sized club, you fall under 501c7 of the IRS code. C7 means you do not pay income tax. What is the business of a 501c7 club? It is collect dues, collect dues, collect dues. Oh, by the way, collect dues. Now, if that is your business, if that's what you do, you don't pay income tax, okay? You do have to file a Form 990 every year. It's a very simple form, even I could do it, but you don't pay income taxes. However, there are certain rules that apply. The 35% rule and the 15% rule. The 35% rule says that if 35% or more of your income comes from non-traditional sources, you do not qualify for 501c7. What's a traditional source for a yacht club? Bar? Well, that goes up without saying, right? I mean, that's where yacht clubs started. Restaurant? Same thing. How about a gas dock? Can you legally is not a problem, but can you sell fuel to your members and not pay a tax on that income? Probably not. The reason is selling fuel is not really a traditional function of a yacht club. Now, we can argue about this until whenever. But there's a guy right down the canal there who sells the same fuel. Why should you not pay income tax and he does? Be careful with non-traditional businesses. In addition to that, more than 15% of your income cannot come from non-members. Now, if you're having parties for your members and they're paying to come in, that's great. If, on the other hand, you are renting your place out for weddings and parties and whatever, okay? First of all, from our previous discussions, that means you're not a private club, so forget about that. But do you have to declare that as income? Not if it's less than 15% of your total income. Once you get beyond that, okay, now you lose your exemption. And when you lose an exemption, you don't lose it just for that little piece of income. You lose it, period. I know what you're saying. Well, we don't serve any non-members. In fact, any visiting people that come in, they must buy a 3-day membership. Guess what? The IRS agents go to school too, okay? That really doesn't fool anybody. Be careful with the 35% rule and the 15% rule. And good grief, I think we might be out of time already. Well, that's because I spent too much time talking about John Schneider, but he's a good guy and he deserves it. Anyway, tune in again. Next time will be the beacon of club success, taxes, 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 part 2. And if we don't finish then, we'll go to part 3. Until then, it's Joe Tringali signing off.